What is up, guys? EZ9 here, and welcome to Noobies Guide to Paragon Part 2, where I discuss the characters and what are their roles. More importantly, what are the characters you should start with as a beginner. So moving on to that, as you guys can see, we have a total of 25 characters standing in front of me here, and we have some that are easy to play and some that are quite hard and require a little more practice to deal with. So to start off, we're going to go with Graystone. Now, Graystone, guys, is a character that has 2 lives. Yes, he has 2 lives. So if you die, you get a second chance. That is his ultimate. It is quite strong. It slows everyone in the area, and not much I can say that. He's very strong, does plenty of damage. Very noob-friendly character for sure. And here's what Graystone does.
Graystone is a melee fighter who never backs down from a challenge. An incredibly durable, skilled swordsman, Graystone takes the fight to his enemies and is capable of fighting even when his enemies can't. Focus on excels in combat. Make Way is a powerful ability that will deal damage in a vortex around you. Use this to engage enemies or to quickly clear minion waves. Assault the Gates allows Graystone to take the fight to his enemies, leaping to target areas and dealing damage. This ability allows him to engage, disengage, and even traverse terrain. Stoic will allow you to take hits better, granting you passive armor and health, making you more durable in team fights. And finally, your ultimate is Reforged. This will cause Graystone to turn to stone just before he dies. After a short delay, he will come back to life, crashing down on his enemies ready to fight once more.
Next up on the list, we have a character who is known to be the big dog of Paragon. Like, he hits hard, he's got an amazing ability, and guys, he destroys squishies. And he is Grux.
Melee fighter who uses his abilities to tear through his opponents. His versatility allows him to lock down enemies and terrorize the battlefield. Stampede to charge in and close the gap. Once in melee range, a well-timed double pain will cause a wide area of damage and make enemies bleed. As enemies try to retreat, use smash and grab to pull them back in and keep them from escaping. Grux's ultimate, Warlord's Challenge, features damage and speed buffs, along with a powerful stun that interrupts most enemy abilities. A strong ganker, combo his ultimate with Stampede or Smash and Grab to devastate an enemy team.
Next up on the list of newbie-ish characters who are easy to learn, easy to help you win the games, is the one, the only, the king of the jungle. It's Rampage. Now this here is Rampage. As you guys can see, very beefed up character. Kind of has the face of a fish. Not sure what the design of that was, but it looks kind of cool. He is a character that has 2 lives in a way, but not the same way you think. He basically can regain all his health back and grow to massive size and jump across the map and do plenty of damage to go with it. He is quite strong, guys. Absolutely quite strong.
Throw can swing the fight your way. Using Feral Roar will increase the distance you leap with Pounce, which can help you catch up to your enemies. Your ultimate, Enrage, will give you bonus health, which will allow you to keep fighting. Rampage becomes ridiculously tanky late game, and because Enrage gives you bonus health, you'll be able to fight for long periods of time while your enemies waste their abilities on you and not your team.
Next up on the list is going to be the mage category of Paragon. And this is going to contain Gadget and Gideon. Now, Gadget and Gideon are both quite easy to learn, are not quite too hard to play, but they are both unique in their own ways and have their own counters and everything else. So here's going to be Gadget first. As the Gadget has a robotic arm, she is all about the mechatronics kind of thing. She is into that kind of thing, and yeah, here's Gadget.
It can be thrown out and reactivated to damage enemies at longer ranges and slow them down. Mid-game, Gadget becomes a monster pushing objectives. Speed Gate can be used to speed up you and your minions to get to towers much faster. It can also be used to escape. Gadget's ultimate, Tesla Dome, can be used to deny a huge area. When engaging team fights, drop your ultimate in the middle of the enemy team and they'll have to split up, allowing your team to...
And now here is Gideon, my boy Gideon. This is the character I love the most when it comes to the mage class, as he is fun as hell. Yes, he is. He is one of the funnest mages in any MOBA I've ever played. Basically, he controls the Cosmic Rift. He can teleport around. He can black hole. He can do everything, guys. Just watch this.
Or without a team, is Gideon's main source of damage. Gideon opens a rift in space and drops a meteor that deals damage in an area. Dark Tether will slow the enemy down, ensuring you land Cosmic Rift. Gideon's ultimate, Black Hole, deals large amounts of damage and pulls enemies toward him. Torn Space will allow you to teleport to get in and position yourself to hit as many enemies as possible. Late game, use Cosmic Rift to aggressively push down lanes. Look for opportunities to gank the enemy team with Torn Space, and combo Black Hole with allied abilities for ultimate destruction.
Next up on the list is going to be the two easier carries to play, and starting off, that is going to be Murdock. If you like playing a ranger, if you like playing a ranged character, a lot of poke, a lot of attack speed, that kind of thing, then you may like the ranger role. And here is Murdock. As you can see, Murdock is a soldier-like looking character with a beam gun of some kind and a shotgun in his upper holster there. As you can kind of see it, but not really. Murdock is the sniper of this game, and here is why.
It's like a truck. Use your static trap to secure key pathways or control an area. Buckshot deals damage in a cone and can be used to push objectives. If an enemy decides to jump you, use your shielding shot to knock them back. Murdock's ultimate, Devastating Blast, is a powerful laser that can hit enemies a lane away. It also passes through any enemy, object, or terrain. Use your ultimate to pick off low health targets, push enemies back, or even support allies in a team fight. Late game, approach fights carefully, analyze the threat, and eliminate the enemy. Plan your attacks to get the upper hand on your enemy.
Next up on the list, we have the other pretty easy ranger to play, but hard to master in a lot of ways. Is Grim.exe. Now, Grim is controlled by, or EXE actually is controlled by Grim. Grim is the flying, little munchkin there with a rotating gizmo of a sort controlling the robot. Pretty cool design decision, but here is Grim.
These reward precision play and allow him to lock down and destroy high-value targets. Has a ton of utility built into his kit. Displacement Blast fires an energy ball that knocks enemies away from the explosion. Use this to displace your targets, or to knock away incoming threats. Deflector Shield will emit a bubble that absorbs an incoming spell. When timed correctly, this ability can get you out of bad situations, even enemy ultimates. Suppression Mode will cause enemies you hit to be slowed. This is a powerful tool that allows you to stick to targets. It can even be used to slow incoming threats. And finally, Grimmix's ultimate, Gyro Targeted Force Orb, or GTFO, will fire a long-range homing bolt that will track down its target wherever they go. When playing Grimmix, you decide when it's time to fight. Use your abilities to dismantle enemy engagements, slow down targets, and displace enemy damage dealers. Once you spot your victim, use GTFO to vaporize your target.
Moving on to the support roles of Paragon is going to be Steel, Mr. Candeel, love this guy. Steel is a very, very strong tank-like support character who was very good at doing his job. As you see here is Steel. This skin I am currently using is available to anyone who signs in with Facebook and hooks it up to Paragon, or likes him on Facebook. You will get this skin. It is a very cool skin, carbon fiber car kinda. Highly recommend picking it up as it is completely free for you guys all to enjoy. And here is Steel.
Use your abilities to zone out enemies and keep them from gathering amber. Steel can take a ton of punishment with his shield block. If you or your allies pass through Force Shield, you'll gain a shield buff. Charge knocks enemies back in the direction you're moving. As soon as you have your ultimate, Shield Slam, look to set up kills for your allies. So, initiate with your ultimate, then charge enemies back into your team. Late game, your ability to lock enemies down is crucial. When initiating a fight, target the enemy damage dealers, and don't forget, Force Shield blocks enemy projectiles.
Moving on to the other tanky support that I think fits the best for when it comes to an easy support to play is going to be Gnar Bash. Now, Gnar Bash is a drummer boy. As you can see, he is a very, very large drummer boy who is very tanky and does plenty of healing, crowd control effects, and movement speed. To be honest, he's very, very good support. Very, very good support if played right. Here is Gnar Bash.
Your match. When you need to inspire your team in the heat of battle, use the Song of My People to grant bonus health regen to nearby allies and yourself. Gnar Bash's drumsticks are for more than just keeping the beat. Use Thunk to stun an enemy, allowing a teammate to move in for the kill. March will grant move speed to nearby allies, allowing you and your comrades to charge into battle. And finally, your ultimate, Crash Bang Boom, will allow you to drop the base on your opponents. Gnar Bash will deal continuous damage around him, slowing enemies and ending with a colossal knockup. When playing Gnar Bash, be ready to lead your team into glorious combat. Use March to overtake enemies, or to make a quick escape. Save Thunk.
Now, moving on to a role that I know attracts a lot of people when you first enter a game like this, and that is going to be the assassin role. I know, assassin, always gonna be squishy, get in, get out characters. You are right, you are absolutely right, that's exactly what they do. The only problem is that they do it so well at times, and so bad at times. And what I mean by this is that you're all going to be wanting to play Kallari and Countess. And here is Kallari, the one that will take a little bit more practice and a little more skill to get used to, but is very manageable and kind of plays a lot like a Smite Loki. Anyone that likes that playstyle, it's here. It is absolutely here. I hate it, but it is here. So here is Kallari, the assassin that everyone wants to play.
To catch enemies off guard. Utilize your mobility and stealth to gank unsuspecting enemies. Shadow Walk will allow Kallari to enter the shadow plane, making her invisible and increasing her move speed. Backflip can be used to disengage fights or to traverse terrain. Crippling Dagger will slow enemies' hit, allowing you to stick to your target. And finally, Kallari's ultimate, Death Sentence, allows her to teleport to an enemy wherever they are, making her a global threat. Use it to gank enemies out of position, or to join team fights and get the upper hand on your enemies. Be smart about your engagements, and look for opportunities to surprise your enemies. Use your abilities to set the tempo of the match by applying pressure to lanes on the other side of the map. When the time is right, join the fight with Death Sentence, and help your team pick off stragglers.
Now, moving on to the final character I'm going to go over, which is Countess. Now, Countess is a lot different than Kallari. Some would even say a little more skillful at times, as it relies on combos, getting in and out, and also just doesn't have that invisibility to escape whenever they want, which can make her quite scary and quite also very squishy at times, but her ultimate makes up for it. And here is Countess.
Dark Tide will send out a rolling cloud that deals damage to all enemies in the area of effect. This is your main source of damage and is great for poking enemies and pushing lanes. Blade Siphon will cause Countess to quickly spin her blades around her, dealing damage. It also comes with a passive component that will regen a % of her max health every time she kills an enemy unit. This effect is amplified when slaying an enemy hero. Shadow Slip will allow you to teleport to a target enemy, slowing them. It will also leave behind an after image of the Countess. If you reactivate the ability, you will return to that image. This tool will allow you to quickly get in and out of fights. And finally, your ultimate is Feast. The Countess will leap to a target enemy, briefly stunning them and dealing a massive burst of damage. When playing Countess, look for opportunities to assassinate key targets. Once your team engages the enemy, use Shadow Slip to leap to enemy damage dealers and quickly burst them down. Feast will deal a massive burst of damage, but can also be used to interrupt enemy abilities.
If you guys have any more questions about characters, let me know in the comments below, and I will try to answer them as best I can. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Newbie's Guide to Smite. Stay tuned for the next one where I start going over the lanes. That lane being mid lane. What do you have to do there? What is your role? And what really should we be building on that type of character? Now, builds are entire different thing entirely, but I'll do my best to cover a basic build for all of you. Let me know what you guys want to see, recommend some games to me, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace!